Economists say the warning signs have been there for years, but now it's official. Iowa's economy is falling behind hard. Even as the national economy grew, Iowa was one of only 2 states to see its GDP shrink, ranking 3rd to last in personal income growth and 2nd to last in job growth.
Since about 2021, Iowa really hasn't had any economic growth to speak of, while the U.S. as a whole was growing at 2.9%.
Iowa State University economics professor Peter Orazum blames a long-term workforce problem made worse by inaction.
Our biggest problem is still a weakness in our labor supply. We don't have enough workers. Certainly, if you look at the last 10 years or so, most of the attention paid on the political side has not been related to making Iowa a better place to live. And we've sort of gone completely in the opposite direction now. I think that's a major flaw in our economic policy.
And he's critical of what he calls Iowa's patchwork approach to tax policy.
There are a lot of things that we do in Iowa that are relatively piecemeal. We say, well, this tax is too high, so we cut that, but we don't worry about whether or not tax exemptions are then necessary.
University of Iowa economist Ann Villamil says 4 factors are dragging Iowa down.
First is that there's a decline in agriculture. The second is that there's a decline in manufacturing. The third is that Iowa's job growth has been slow. And the fourth is ongoing trade policy.
Agriculture is especially struggling.
Commodity prices have declined. Input costs have risen. Manufacturing is closely tied to agriculture in Iowa. John Deere, for example, has faced decreased demand for equipment due to those low agricultural prices.
For everyday Iowans, she says shrinking GDP hits home.
Real GDP is the value of all goods and services, often described as the economic pie. The fact that real GDP shrunk by 0.5% in Iowa means the pie shrunk. People are going to worry about their slice. When real GDP is shrinking, taxes are a function of income. And if people's incomes do start going down, tax revenues will go down.
Democrats say the numbers show failed leadership.
We've been under one-party control in the state of Iowa for 10 years. Republicans have been in charge. They own this.
Hart says this moment can't be ignored.
If you were in control of the state of Iowa and you got this report, you would certainly downplay it, right? But it cannot be ignored that this is real.
Meanwhile, Iowa Republicans, in a statement to Iowa's News Now, blamed President Biden, claiming Iowa's economy, quote, shrunk for 3 straight quarters and only grew in the 4th quarter under Trump. But that's not entirely accurate. Official data shows Iowa's economy shrank only in Q1 of 2024. It grew in Q2, stayed flat in Q3, and again grew in Q4 by 1.7%, a figure the GOP credits in their statement to Trump, though he had not yet taken office when the quarter ended. As far as what's next, economists say the path forward isn't clear, especially with trade tensions rising and population growth stalling. In studio, Nicole Haj, Iowa's News Now.